Welcome back. We are joined as always by Greg Engert, beer director for the neighborhood restaurant group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Rustico, 2 locations in Alexandria and Ballston. Also in DuPont Circle, you've got GBD and Iron Gate. Greg, it is always good to see you.
See you too.
What do we have on tap this week?
This week we have a beer that we both couldn't believe we hadn't done yet. And how many episodes we've done?
Oh boy, close to 200 probably. 200,
and it's funny. One of our mutual favorite beers, Victory Prima Pils from the venerable Victory Brewing Company up in Pennsylvania. Not unlike many craft brewers today, they have 2 separate brewing facilities. The Downingtown facility, right outside of Philly, has been around since '96, and then more recently they opened a second facility about 17 miles away in Parksburg, Pennsylvania, which is actually where most of the year-round beer bottles and draft comes from. Now they're using the original plant for more of the experimental things and such. So the one thing we know for sure, though, is that this beer remains steadfastly probably the best American-made Pilsner out there.
So. It's so unique, and it's not going to be a surprise for us, but if you haven't tried this,
you should get it.
You really need to. And just as proof, I don't know, I haven't kept a tally on how many, what different kegs I've had in my kegerator at home. But if Prima Pils is not tops of the list, I don't know what is, because I've had at least 4 or 5, 6 kegs of this.
It's just so good. Kegerator. It's like it's 5.3% alcohol. It's a hoppier Pilsner, I'd say, but it's using all European ingredients, all imported ingredients. I've talked about before, Victory, like Sierra Nevada, exclusively uses whole cone hops, so not the pelletized hops. So these are hops that are coming off the vine, getting dried, and then getting shipped over in giant bales. In fact, with their brewery expansion, they built a new hop room that is actually the size, literally, of Birch and Barley and Church Key. It is 2-floor mega cold box where they keep the hops. Because if you think about it, like if you're not buying pellets you buy year round, they're stored off site. With these, they're pulling them in early and they're just using them throughout the year. They're all coming in the fall. In fact, their German hops for Prima and Czech hops come in from Europe in November of every year. So, in the fall of each year, that room is absolutely packed to the gills. And then over time, they kind of whittle it down.
Well, Elvis had the jungle room. I'll take the hop room.
I know, yeah.
Is there any way to store whole cone hops efficiently, for lack of a better word? Can you vacuum pack them? Can you freeze them, or does that they just got to be used?
You can vacuum pack them, but you can also just keep them like out in open bales, as long as these are state of the art rooms. I mean, they're temp controlled, right, humidity controlled. Keep it nice and just the right amount of humidity, not too dry, but certainly not too humid. And then they can be kept. I'm not sure exactly how Victory's doing it, but they can be kept in just like open bales that you just kind of scoop out of over time, or they're kept in vacuum packed packages as well, just to make sure that they don't oxidize either, which is incredible. But this beer has it just continues to impress me. It's the perfect balance of hop character. It's Saaz, spicy Czech hop character in the nose with some malt character. It's brisk and refreshing on the palate without being too bitter. And if you live on the East Coast, as we do, if you live in the Mid-Atlantic, as we do, you get the benefits of it being supremely fresh all the time, Yeah,
to that point, I mean, was this bottled last week? Enjoy by August 31st. To what we were talking about last week
super
with
fresh. You could taste it.
The Lagunitas beer. Again, you see that on the label in the store, and for me, it's like I almost have to buy that. I don't know if I'm going to.
I don't know exactly what their time span is, but this is definitely packaged in the last month. I mean, incredible.
Now, these guys at Victory are not one-trick ponies either. I mean, this is a phenomenal beer, but they got great IPAs.
Dirt Wolf we did recently. That Imperial IPA, blind taste that against any number, and you'll be impressed by the results of it.
And
it's
they
incredible.
retired
Hop Wallop.
Hop Wallop.
Hopefully that'll make some reappearances. Yeah. I mean, I love that beer. Hop Wallop is basically Prima, but a big Prima base with American hops. And a very singular Imperial IPA, but Dirt Wolf is fantastic as well. You know, the cool thing too about, to your point, they make it all, but what they do with like these German beers that they make is that these taste like beers taste in Germany, but we don't have to go to Germany to taste them. You know, if we import beers from Germany, they never quite have this freshness to them. So this is 100 miles away versus 6,000 or whatever it is. It's absolutely fantastic.
A little bit better. What would you pair this with? I wish I could remember the things I've eaten it with, because it's probably been a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I would say probably the things that you might pair with, like, you're drawing off your kegerator. I mean, this is one of my favorite pizza beers. Acid and tomato sauce can be tough with certain bitterness. It's got just the right amount of pinpoint clean bitterness that doesn't. It works nicely with that, and I love that kind of like spicy herbal quality with basil is really fantastic. But this is your classic bar food beer.
Yeah.
Anything fried is going to be fantastic, like fish and chips, burgers, wings. It washes. It's great. It doesn't interrupt your food too much. It sits on the side, cleanses the palate, but gives you just the right amount of punch of like malt sweetness and hop spice as well.
Dynamite. They're not going to retire this anytime soon.
No, I don't believe so.
Don't. Warning from me. Craig, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.